Hello and welcome back to the unboxing corner. We've gotten the majority of the fuel parts for the FG Ute build and we're going to show you what we got. We're going to start from the fuel tank backwards, fuel tank forwards. We have our AN8 soft line, which is E85 safe. So what this bad boy is used for is, what we're going to do with this is drill a hole in the tank and convert it to an AN8 output. So the plastic of the tank's going to be compressed between these two nuts. So having a look at everything, like I said, we have the AN8 soft line, which is E85 safe. We have our tank conversion, so this is going to make the tank have an AN8 output rather than what it's currently got, which is much smaller. And then just obviously general 90 degree that's going to come out of the tank. This bag is just a bunch of spares in case something breaks. I'd rather have a backup straight away than waiting for Australia Post. We've got a female to female AN8 connector, and then we've got, this is a hard line to soft line adapter. So in here you've got this little ferrule fitting which clamps down on the hard line and secures it. And this is a male which can then go into the female and make babies. Same as before, females. And then we have our 90 degrees with a push lock fitting which goes into the soft line. These don't require clamps, but we're going to clamp them anyway because safety is key. And then this is the same but just straight, not a hard 90. So we've spoken about the general fuel line, so now we're going to go out of the tank and what's directly after that. So coming straight out of the tank, we're going to have the fuel pressure regulator, so we're going to have a deadhead system. We've got the AN8 inlet, so fuel's going to come in here. Excess fuel, we've got the AN6 outlet port, which is going to use the factory return on the tank, so that's our return line. So we have a little vacuum port, so this will adjust the fuel pressure based on how much boost we're pushing. So yeah, I guess if I tell you about the benefits of a deadhead, it just means less fuel line, so you don't have a full return line going back from the engine to the tank. We're just going to have a short little, I don't know, AN6 line. So from the fuel pressure regulator, we have our 100 micron stainless steel E85 safe fuel filter. So she's going to sit into that, come out of here, and then we've got the AN8 to hardline fitting that I showed you before. So directly out of the fuel filter, we're going to have hardline that goes straight to the engine, bar a little 30 centimeter piece that's going to go into the fuel rail just to ensure that when the engine moves, the lines aren't snapping because hardline does not have any give in it. So yeah, that's fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, fuel lines. Alright, so now we have the catch can. Because it's a Barra and they don't tend to breathe a lot, we don't have a massive, I don't know, 28 litre one like an RB would need. And in this bag we have some fittings that are going to be coming off the rocker cover. So these two here are going to be going into the rocker cover. You got the AN8 fitting on the end, and then you've got your hard 90s, which will then direct the lines towards the back of the engine. and then they'll wrap around and connect into our catch can. Because we're going to have two breather lines coming off the rocker cover, we have this T-fitting which is going to convert 2 into 1, as the catch can only has a single inlet hole. So oil's going to come in through one hole, which is why we need to convert the 2 lines into 1. We're going to have an outlet line that goes back into the intake, because in Australia, if we were to vent to atmosphere, that's illegal. So we're going to have to recirc the air back into the intake. But yeah, chose this size purely because barras don't and shouldn't breathe a lot. And because we're going to be checking it pretty consistently, we'll be able to empty it, and there's no real chance of this overflowing because our rings are going to be tight. So moving away from fuel and going on to boost, we have 4-inch stainless steel V-band. But aside from that, we have some goodies in our box. We're going to do an ASMR unboxing. Oh my goodness, it's a coilover adjuster. So the goal for boost is around 600 horsepower on 10 psi, while this guy has a 7 psi spring in it. The Turbo Smart wastegate is going to be welded onto the rear housing of the turbo, so since it's a twin scroll, it's going to be controlling both of the passages by being welded up here, and then controlling both of the pulses that come through each individual passage. If you didn't do this, you'd need two separate wastegates to control each hole. Anyways, moving on. So you can't get this flange anywhere, which is why we're going with the 4-inch V-band to get welded onto the rear housing. In here, it's going to be machined out to 4 inches, so it matches the V-band. And all these bolt holes are going to disappear. Going to get machined down. And then if we move on to the T4 flange, so this is going to be welded onto the exhaust manifold. So the T3 flange is going to be cut off, and the T4 is going to be welded on where the twin scroll starts in the manifold. So the little ridges here will mount up to this. And I think that's all the welding for the turbo side. So we've got the wastegate, the V-band and the T4 flange to send off to get welded. And then the rest of the parts is just installation.